investigator for the Travis County District Attorney's Office.
And what do you do there?
I investigate homicides.
Did there come a time when you became involved in this case?
Yes, I received a telephone call at about 1:30 in the morning on May 14th, and I was informed that there was an apparent homicide.
And
Objection, mischaracterization, it's a homicide. Objection to the characterization of homicide.
and where did they say that took place?
They said that it was at Remington Apartments,
So what did you do next?
and that was in Amarillo. After receiving a telephone call, I went to the crime scene.
And what, if anything, did you find once you arrived there?
Well, after identifying Mr. Walker, the decedent's apartment, I entered into the house and and upon entering the apartment, I saw the decedent lying on the floor with what appeared to be 2 bullet hole wounds in the chest and 1 in the head. And he was laying in front of a couch covered in a red stain, which appeared to be blood.
Did you examine just the body or the apartment?
Well, after looking at the body, further looked around the apartment. Lying on the floor near Mr. Walker's body, we found a bullet casing. We also found in his bedroom some computer equipment, including a laptop and a printer and a webcam.
That bullet casing, did you examine it?
I did, and on the bottom
Objection
of
to
it,
meeting.
Rephrase your question, Counsel.
What, if anything, did you do with regards to the bullet?
I looked at the bullet casing on the bottom, and it appeared to say .32 caliber.
Objection, hearsay.
Your Honor, what it says on the bottom bullet is merely, it's not an assertive statement, it's just an identification marker, what size of the bullet it is.
Rephrase your question, Counsel.
Rephrase it so I'm allowed to
Clear
listen.
what you're looking for.
What, if any, markings did the bullet have?
On the bottom, it said .32 caliber.
Now, going back to the computers you mentioned earlier, what, if anything, did you do with them?
Well, before removing them from the scene, I wanted to make sure that we wouldn't need any extra equipment to retrieve information. So upon opening the laptop, it pulled up with an array of social media accounts that we're already logged into, including an email account, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, so the regular accounts.
Let the record reflect I am approaching opposing counsel with what has been marked as Exhibit 1 for identification purposes only. Your Honor, I am referring to page 30 of your trial book, Exhibit 1. Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor.
Right.
Investigator Stocker, do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
It appears to be the same information, including the login names, the handles, the messages that were found on the decedent's computer.
And how do you recognize it to be that?
I made a printout of it from that computer.
And is it a fair and accurate copy of what you saw when you examined the computer at the time?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, move to admit State's Exhibit 1 in evidence.
I object to a portion of State's Exhibit 1 on 4 to 3 basis. That portion would be, if I may be heard, that portion would be in the first sentence under Teen Angel. It says, "What if Dad finds out about us? He'd kill me." To redact that because on the 4 to 3, the danger of unfair prejudice substantially outweighs the probative value. There is no probative value of that, and the danger of unfair prejudice would be that a jury might take that statement to be suggesting that Mr. Draft was homicidal or showed homicidal tendencies.
And let me understand this, Counsel. Your ground for moving to exclude it or redact it is 403B, unfair prejudice.
That's correct.
Your Honor, if I may be heard. There is no unfair prejudice here. This is simply a thing kids say, kill me, it's an expression. I don't think the jury's not going to infer anything negative about this. This is simply patter between two people
Counsel, you
dating.
bring up a very valid point that would be incumbent upon the defense to do something else. Having only heard a 403B argument, your motion is denied. Proceed.
Now, investigator, we came upon this Twitter page. How did it affect your investigation?
Well, after looking at this, I see the names Sally Drath and Steph Walker communicating about what's, a performance in the night and things that are in love and what could be intense. So after reading that, I decided to call Sally Drath's father and talk to him, so John Drath, the defendant.
And how did you know Sally Drath's father's number?
Well, I am currently dating Pamela Drath, who is his ex-wife.
Does that have any impact on your investigation?
Not at all. I'm a professional, and simply seeing this, Steph
Objection
Walker.
to proper characterization and opinion.
She's testifying about her opinion about her own professionality. I think that's within the purview of her knowledge.
I'm going to grant the defense motion, and that will be stricken.
When you talked to Mr. Drath, did he say anything?
He did. I informed him of the situation. He immediately responded saying I didn't do it, and a few other things that weren't relevant to the case.
What other things?
Objection to proper characterization as to what's relevant.
I'm sorry, Counsel.
Improper opinion and characterization as to what's relevant, Your Honor.
I don't believe when she said relevant, she meant it as a legal term. I think she was saying she didn't think it had anything to do with the facts of the homicide per se.
I'm going to grant the defense motion. Sorry.
Mr. Strickler.
Did you call it? I didn't know how to turn it off. Oh.
Mr. Strickler, Your Honor.
Turn off your phone. Now that I'm not distracted, that's why I have a question for you. Explain to me what your problem is with what that witness just said.
She said that she heard some other things that aren't relevant. Those other things come out. That's an opinion that she's not qualified to give in this court, and it's an improper characterization of those statements that the jury is entitled to make.
What would you like me to do, sir?
I'd like to have that stricken from the record, Your Honor. The
Right.
portion discussing the relevance.
Granted. Counsel, please make sure you ask your questions in a manner in which the witness is testifying appropriately.
Of course, Your Honor. Without going into your opinion of the statement, what were these statements elicited on the telephone?
Something about a score of a football game and lottery numbers.
And what, if anything, struck you about those statements?
In my opinion, it seemed odd, just because I just said that there was a dead man, and he immediately responded, I didn't do it, so I became suspicious.
After your conversation on the phone, what, if anything, did you do next?
Well, I actually went over to Mr. Drath's house, and we went to search his apartment, or search his house, excuse me.
And what, if anything, did you find?
I cannot recall.
Would perhaps seeing a copy of the return on the search warrant refresh your memory?
Yes, it would.
Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor?
Granted.
Please review this, and when you're done, look up.
Okay.
Investigator, what, if anything, did your search of John Drath's apartment uncover?
We found a box of bullets, a receipt for ammunition, a Google Map
Objection.
printout.
Testifying to the content of the document that has been entered into evidence of the receipt.
Your Honor, I can direct the witness to refrain from talking about exactly what's in it. I believe she just said it was a receipt and then named that it was for something in particular.
Said it was for ammunition.
One more.